much, everyone, for staying with us. We'll be getting to talk about the internal affairs of the APC, and we'll also focus on how they're handling things, the state of affairs in the nation. But let's give you some update on what is happening politically. Governor Siminalayi Fubara, the governor of Rivers State, has been responding to his political opponent, and he said that his opponent are now frustrated and no one can intimidate him. These are some of the choice of words from Governor Fubara. Take a listen to a bit of what he said earlier today.
I have been saying it and I continue to say it. The dean doesn't need introduction. But the fact that he's in the service, he's sitting as the primate we're seeing. That's the truth. But you see, anybody that is making noise for recognition is a sign that you have lost it. When you make noise, let me tell you, for those people who have cars, when you get to your house, there's a way you horn. Your children will know, daddy horn. No. If you don't have a car, there's a way you walk. So that one, daddy footstep one. But if you have to enter your house and say, don't you know I'm your daddy? Then you have a problem. By the special grace of God, I don't need introduction. I have the name and I am the one standing here.
Dissect it, diffuse it the way you want, but maybe it's going to be our focus tomorrow on the program. But tonight, our focus is more about the state of the nation and some other issues, where the ruling APC has postponed its National Caucus and National Executive Committee meetings indefinitely. The meetings initially were scheduled for the 11th and 12th of September, but are now being postponed without a new date being fixed. Additionally, the party did not provide any reason for the postponement. Aside that, there have been issues relating to the party leadership either at the center or in some selected states where they are having issues. And some members of the party are coming forward to show their agitations. Let's speak with a man who is in the know of all of this, who has the authority to speak on behalf of the party. It's Felix Morka, who is the National Publicity Secretary of the APC. Thank you so much indeed, Mr. Morka, for joining us tonight.
Shehu, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Why did you, because you didn't, in that your press statement, which I read, you did not state the reason why you postponed your NEC meeting. It's being a reason for the criticism of your party by some members of your party that how can a party be against its own constitution and has not held a NEC meeting for this long?
Thank you so much, Shehu. No, there's no tension between our constitution and the practice of what happened. We postponed our caucus and NEC meetings because it was exigent to do so. Now, you know, anyone who is familiar with the party operations and the way our constitution is constituted will appreciate that, you know, this is a statutory, meaning party statutory events. They're not, you know, the NEC and caucus meetings are not called at the whim of anyone. They're called in accordance with the Constitution. And there are certain people who are required to attend those, you know, two meetings. And, you know, the president is one of them. But, you know, unfortunately, the president was, you know, out engaged in very important national assignments and engagements, traveling to, you know, bolster Nigeria's prestige, standing, and, you know, his campaign to win, you know, foreign investment into our economy. So, you know, unfortunately, he was, you know, not able to, you know, attend. And, you know, our party, we are a constitutional, you know, party. We take our constitutional provisions very seriously. And so, you know, we needed to ensure that when we have this meeting, all of the, you know, leadership sectors of the party are able to be present so that we can deliberate on very, you know, significant points.
Fundamentally, was because of the president's absence that you postponed it.
Look, you know, Yes, that's one of the points, because, as you know, the president was traveling, in China and, returned into the UK and was meeting with, with King Charles, at the Buckingham Palace. Those are important national engagements, which, even as a party, we were, unable to sacrifice, on this point, because, again, he was already out and, needed to.
There are those who would disagree
with
the decision of the leadership of the party that the party should not be held to ransom by the disposition of one member of the party. Every member of the party is subject to the decision and the decision of the leadership of the party. And the question will be, how many times under your constitution are you supposed to hold a NEC meeting in a year?
Sure, that's not even the question, and I don't think this is a matter of controversy. The party reserves the authority to schedule its caucus and NEC meetings. We scheduled it, but because of exigent circumstances, we postponed. We didn't cancel the meetings.
Indefinite postponement without specific date.
First of all, the constitution of APC requires that a certain period of notice is given to convene any of those, two meetings. You don't just convene a caucus meeting or a NEC meeting. You are required, under constitutional obligation, to give notice, a period of notice, to convene those meetings. So, once, for justifiable reason, a meeting is, postponed, you again have to follow the constitutional dictates to schedule or reschedule that meeting.
But so you don't have a date now?
No, because we're consulting.
So I'm asking you, because you're a lawyer and you know the ramifications of my question, and that's why you danced around it. The question is, how many times in a year is your party supposed, under your constitution, is supposed to hold a NEC meeting?
Sheung, NEC is before the national convention of the party, NEC is the ultimate authority outside of the national convention of the party. We have the National Working Committee, but NEC sits, above that.
But how many times, Mr. Morka? I mean, that is a direct and straight question, sir.
That's not the point.
Yeah, no, there's a point.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Your party might be in breach of your own constitution. When was the last NEC meeting? How many times is your party supposed to hold a NEC meeting? We are just holding your feet to the fire based on your own rules and your constitution as a ruling party in Nigeria. Maybe you're not hearing what members of your party are saying, that the administration of your party is less than purposeful because of indecisions like this.
You can quibble all you want about a party constitution, but what I tell you is that our constitution understands, and actually if you bother to read the constitution, it understands that there must be critical interface between all of the levels of authority of the party. Circumstances are often beyond the control of even the highest body of the party.
To the point that you will be in breach. You understand what I'm saying as a lawyer? Your party has been in breach of your own constitution.
Sheung, please, when you ask a question, give me the time and the moment.
This is the third time I'm asking the same question, sir.
And I'm responding to your question.
And you're not able to answer direct questions.
No.
How many times the party are able to, is the party supposed to hold the next meeting, sir?
The fact that you say it, I am the spokesman of the party. And I am sure you do not know or understand our constitution better than I do. And, I think you need to just, stay still and listen for me to explain to you. Because, you can speak about, and I'm a lawyer, by the way, and I don't know that you are.
I'm not.
You're not. So I think, you must take a moment to listen to what I'm saying. And that is that, when you speak about our party's constitution, you speak about it from a very limited, point of view. Because, yours is, you think everything is a straitjacket. You can call a meeting tonight. If there's, a tornado, and I know there's not one, but if there's a circumstance that overrides that notice of meeting, listen, that notice of meeting will, irrespective of the context of that notice, irrespective of the particular specific moment the notice was issued, that notice can, and the party has the authority to suspend that notice. And that's what we've done. And you cannot second-guess the party as to its reasons for postponing its meetings. Postponement, even for hunger, can happen if the circumstances warrant. So I don't think we should get into that conversation about whether or not the party, in fact, had any valid reasons to postpone its meetings, caucus or NEC. These are party organs. Members of the party organs are human beings who bear consciousness to manage that process. So in the wisdom of the party, the meetings we scheduled needed to be postponed, and they were postponed. And I think that we shouldn't be talking about that. We should be talking about what's next for the party. And what's next is that the party, as we speak, is consulting in order to reschedule those meetings, and they will be rescheduled. A new date, I will announce the new dates once the consultation is done to ensure that everyone...
For some reason, there's a physical difficulty with your chair is sinking, and I hope your party is not. Your chair is sinking.
No, this is channel sinking. This is not my party.
No.
It's your own...
No. We're going to fix it.
I need to fix a better chair. Because I did nothing to make your chair fix.
I'm just speaking figuratively.
Absolutely.
Well, let's take a break so that we can fix Mr. Morka's chair. He's sinking, but I hope his party is not. We'll be back
that's on channel.
After this break.
That's on Channels Television.
We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone. Now, we've rescued Mr. Morka's chair and himself from sinking. Rescuing your party from sinking also is very critical. And I'm looking at the agitation of the members of your party, and I don't want us to go into the dialectal and into the letters and the details of it, because critically you have not been able to answer the question as to how many times your party will answer, who should hold the NEC meeting. But more critically, sir, is the criticism about the leadership of this country and the handling of your party of it. In fact, a former member of your party, which you responded to, Mr. Lukman, has said that your party's how many years in office at the helm of affairs is worse than the 16 years of the PDP. And you look at the indices. How do you defend the activities of this government led by your party in the manner in which Nigerians are suffering? The hardship is neck-breaking.
First of all, back on the issue of NEC, you're wrong. Our party constitution provides the parameters and the guide and standards for us to convene those critical meetings, and the party reserves the authority to postpone, modify when it holds meetings. And it's not just twice that we can hold our NEC and caucus meetings. The party reserves the right to hold those meetings 20 times if we wish. If there are reasonable justification for those meetings, we can hold it as many times as we want.
But you're wrong, Mr. Morka. And I'll read your party's constitution to you, sir.
Please go ahead.
Respectfully, your party's constitution, Article 25, sub B says, the National Executive Committee shall meet every quarter. Shall meet every quarter, and you know the implication of that particular word. Shall meet every quarter and or at any time decided by the national chairman or at a request made in writing by at least 2/3 of the members of the National Executive Committee, provided that not less than 14 days notice is given for the meeting to be summoned.
What is the meaning of what you've read?
Shall meet every quarter. That means it means 4 times a year.
Did it say that meetings of NEC and caucus scheduled may not be postponed or shall not be postponed? You're speaking to nothing, because the party, like I said, the NWC, in consultation with the leaders and members of the party, can determine to meet 20 times a year.
That's why I said, yes, you can meet more than the prescribed time. But the party, the minimum that you can meet is 4 times a year.
No, hang on.
This is your constitution. You can look at it.
Listen, I don't need to. I'm a lawyer. 36 years at the bar. I don't need to. I have read...
Harvard trained too.
And Harvard trained. Thank you. I have read the Constitution back and forth a million times. There's nothing in the Constitution that forbids the party from postponing a meeting that was scheduled if there are valid, justifiable circumstances for that. And the party is the sole authority to make that
the point in
examination.
Here, sir. The point I'm making to you, sir, is the minimum required by your constitution to hold the NEC meeting.
We scheduled a meeting that had to be postponed. And, that's about it.
How many times have you heard it this year?
Shemun, please, let's not quibble about, nothing. That is not the point. We scheduled a meeting that did not hold. We postponed. And we are within our institutional and constitutional authority to do so. Just like any board meeting of any organization may be scheduled and postponed if there are valid, justifiable circumstances. Look, Shemun, the point we should be, discussing here is that our party was elected via our president to govern this country. And that program is unfolding as we expect it to. When you allude to circumstances of, difficulty, of even what some may refer to as hardship.
Is it some people? You don't feel the hardship,
no,
Mr. Morka?
Please, we're talking about semantics here. You use the language. And I'm saying that some may call it, difficult. Some may call it hardship. Whatever language you use, the point is that our government has embarked upon a, very consensus, intentional program meant to address the rot, the deep rot that we have lived with. Whether anyone wants to hear it or not, truth is that we have actually, through the years, decades, run a phantom economy. An economy that betrayed itself, that made sure that it could not deliver to Nigerians the promise of sustainable development or even economic growth. What this president is doing is what presidents before him, before he even thought of becoming or running for office, what they ought to have done, they didn't do. And every, administration before him simply kicked the can down the road for the next president to, manage. This president was inaugurated and decided, listen, enough is enough. I will take responsibility, do what no other president before me was willing to do, which is to confront the behemoth, the monster in the room, and say, we've had enough. Mr. Monster, you need to get behind us so we can move ahead. Now, what you may refer to as, some of the transient, temporary, momentary, fleeting, that will settle, difficulty or hardship, are inevitable. I think anyone, I don't know, whether you sit here every day, you do these shows, you have 1,000,001 people who come to your show. Please, name one person who has said that the fundamental predicate of the reforms of the administration was flawed. No one, even those in the private sector, the Dangotes of this world, have come out to tell you that the core of this administration's policy, economic policy, were or are inevitable, and that there's no second guessing it. Now, listen, what I think we should do today is to quit this conversation about, being revisionist, to see whether or not was subsidy removal, justifiable, was the floating of the exchange rate, justifiable. We need to begin to figure out, and you, Sheun, like your colleagues in the media, you all need to, I think, refocus your attention, not to the question of whether subsidy ought to have been removed, whether it was justified, because that question and answer, please, let me finish this thought.
Yeah, because we're running out of time.
Please.
Yeah.
That question is a settled question. What we need to be discussing today and tomorrow is how we manage the proceeds and the, of just the subsidy removal and the economy going forward to ensure that we continue to climb out of this generational mess that we have been.
Mr. Felix Morka, unfortunately, I don't even have time to respond to some of these issues. But we must leave it at that. But thank you.
Buy more time and respond if you wish. But I know you have no response.
Well, no. We'll
because you agree.
If you can, you can come back tomorrow. If you can come back tomorrow. Let's have this conversation.
I will come tomorrow.
But that's our show for tonight. We're totally out of time. Many thanks everyone for watching. We continue this conversation tomorrow, everyone. Good night.